Welcome to my cake kitchen. I'm Gladys, and over here we make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate cake decorating easily. I'm back to baking some muffins today. I am in my muffin baking era. Last night I baked some muffins, which is going to be in a video shortly over the weekend for you. But I am just going to be making some simple chocolate muffins today. And the idea is to make them with reduced amount of sugar. Talking about sugar, just so that my son can have them. So that's what we're doing. We're doing something rather simplistic today. We'll be back to serious decorating and different sorts of things. Something I am looking to talk to you about again. But yeah, wherever you are, thank you for joining me this afternoon. I've literally not prepped the ingredients, so we're going to be doing that together, and perhaps as we're doing that I will also be handing you some baking tips. So if you just see me for the first time, I am Gladys. I love cake. Okay, have I told you lately I love cake? And along with some other people who indulge me in my passions here, there's a few of you. Delaney, good morning, darling. How are you and how is school? I hope you're well. And there is Lollipop, oh, Lollipop, hi. And there is Tapita, darling, good morning. I mean, I say good morning. When I say good morning, it is to my American audience and some of you who are not in the time region that I am, because I am streaming from the UK. I'm in my UK-based home kitchen right here in England. So great to have you today for another live session. We're here for an hour of the day, and then I'm off to doing more baking. Okay, so I did promise to update the community post with the information about sugar. I'm on it, because after leaving you guys yesterday, this is what I went to do. If you weren't here yesterday and you're catching this on replay, on yesterday's live or the previous live, which is following this one, I had some ripe banana. Okay, we were talking ripe banana, and that is because I had made some banana loaf. And yes, there is some ripe banana here. So I thought I could use that to make some bakery style chocolate chip muffins. Now these muffins are amazing, even if I say so myself. But you'll be seeing all of that on Sunday when I put up a long form video for your viewing pleasure. And boy, I have some tea to spill. Look, did we say we were making muffins? Yes, we are. So let's get on to it. Let's get on with it, okay? And I'll tell you the tea about filming. Because tell me why. Tell me why I recorded an entire video with my mic switched off. Yes, that happened. The video was filmed in its entirety. I turned around and my mic was off. By the way, in real time, you are almost advised to have room temperature ingredients when you're baking. And just in case you do not have time, room temperature is anything, I think, between 20 to 22 degrees C, right? And if you do not have time, because you're in a cold region and your ingredients are still cold, first tip here, I am adding some lukewarm water. No, this is cold water. Okay, I'm going to boil myself a kettle of water. And I am going to let that come up to not a boil, but warm enough. You top them up over here, and that should be all right. Now, for the rest of my ingredients, let's work with what we have. Making muffins is rather easy because it's you can make a one bowl recipe without the mess. So I'm going to preheat my oven at 190 degrees C. Okay, right. There are some baking questions coming my way. If you're a baker and you are in the chat and you have questions, just put them in the chat and I'll try to answer them. Your baking related questions, whatever they are. Do you ever have to put butter in the fridge? You know what? It depends. But I will keep butter in the fridge simply because whilst butter can preserve, keeping your butter outside does lead to, if your temperature in the area is not stable, it can melt and re-solidify. It doesn't help, okay? And it doesn't help the mouthfeel, quality, and shelf life of the butter. So do you have to put your butter in the fridge? Yes, for storage purposes and general preservation. You can put your butter in the fridge. But I see why you're asking the question, because Lollipop, we're in England. Whether you leave it on the countertop or in the fridge, it almost looks like your butter is still the same anyway. But don't be fooled. Even though the weather is quite cold in England, we all know it's not the same. So yes, for preserving and saving and maintaining the quality and shelf life, put it in the fridge. Do you have to rely on bringing it back to room temperature on a countertop within your house or environmental factors? Not necessarily, because sometimes I have left butter, say for instance, when I forget overnight in the evening and I have a bake in the morning, and then I end up putting my butter out, say, let's say I go to bed a bit late. So let's say it's 10 p.m. and I'm like, gosh, I have a bake in the morning about 11 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, okay, let me take my butter out for a couple of hours. I mean, it's overnight. You're looking at 10 p.m. till 11 a.m. in the morning. That's over 10 hours. And guess what? By morning, my butter is still solid, okay? And I'm like, what happened? But the good tip is that you can put it in the microwave to bring it to a spreadable consistency. But if you decide to go that route, you need to be extra careful. Why? Because the microwave can literally melt your butter very quickly if you are distracted. So that is something to note. Any more questions you've got over there? Oh, it's been over a week in the cupboard. Is it still good for you to use? Because you know what? You live by the sea, don't you? I don't know what the sea has to do with anything, but I guess in my mind, it's like it will be chiller. Yes, you live by the sea. I guess in my mind, I'm like, it's because it is cold. So, Lollipop, do you go for walks by the sea? Do you go for beach walks in the morning or something? Like, do you go for beach walks? I guess that's the question I'm trying to ask. Right, so, look, I have ended up using boiling water because I was busy talking to you guys. You know what? Yep, I've ended up making the water lukewarm. You want to put your, actually in real time, you're going to see me bring my ingredients to room temperature because I haven't measured anything and I'm stood here with you, okay? Because I thought I think it's worth noting that for my American audience, you need to put your eggs in the fridge. The simple reason, because your eggs during processing and packaging are washed. Even though eggshell, the shell here looks solid, if you look through over it with a microscope, apparently there are like holes in eggshells. So when you wash it, you strip something off it, making it hollow for it to be exposed to bacteria and stuff like that. So for the American people, I know your packaging, you have to store your eggs refrigerated. It's not the same for the UK though. In the UK, you can get your eggs. In fact, when I go shopping, I guess if you're in the UK, you'll know that eggs are not saved in the fridge when you go shopping. They are just kept on the floor somewhere in the shop, and then you pick them up. And most of the time, my eggs are in a cupboard somewhere at home. So yeah, for the Americans, I know your eggs because it is washed. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you get poop and feathers on it sometimes, it's still eggs, isn't it? Where do you buy your eggs that you get poop and feathers? Because if you're buying the Tesco eggs that are kind of like picked and selected and packaged for you, you can hardly get poop and but yeah, it comes from the chicken. What do you expect? I guess I am being facetious. Oh, duck eggs come from, look at you going all fancy, Lollipop getting herself we're supposed to be making the muffins glad. What are you doing? I am distracted now. Look at me going on a tangent, people. 1 second. I am just checking something, and then we'll come back to. Lollipop tells me she doesn't want to. In America, our eggs come out of the refrigerator. They are washed. Yep. I was just saying that. Oh, okay. Tabitha buys her. Oh, so you buy actually. Let me make sure nothing is in my oven. Well, I'm preheating the oven. Okay. Right, let's get ourselves some flour and get on with this bake, okay? So Tabitha buys herself. Let's get. You need some plain flour. Look at my. And I tell you. Did I tell you? Look at my scale, okay? A big old me. My scale is gone funny. It won't work. We're not going to be able to undertake the. We are not always going to be able to undertake the bake if my scale isn't working, okay? Because I need the scale. You know me. I like to weigh stuff. We weigh them. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's not working. Okay, it is working. Oh, no. You know what? One of these days, because we're going back to baking basics, as in the science, right? I am going to, in future videos, come back to create some videos where we break some of the baking rules. Now we know that over mixing your sugar and butter is not as bad as we make it, right? But we know beating when your flour is added and it's over cream, then you have problems. So I am actually compiling a list. Those videos are very very information based, and it requires structure, and the structure takes time. So I am on it. There's quite a lot of things going. Look, I'll come to that, and then we will because sometimes the conversation about weighing and using cups and accuracy of ingredients and all of that is still like a hot subject in baking. So yeah, it will be lovely to come and make some videos with that. So stick around, guys. Just stick around, okay? Tabitha said, who would have thought that my pot store would also be my look, honey? It works, okay? It does work. Let's see. So I've got some sugar in here, right? And then I want some, my son likes chocolate. I'm thinking, why didn't I just make why did I do that? Okay, chocolate. Lollipop lands. Lollipop is the is the cake finished? Okay, we have this here. Oh no, Tabitha, I am so sorry. Tabitha's place where she shops for her eggs. Oh dear. Is that Tabitha? Is that the friend who passed away that you were telling us about last time? I'm so sorry, my lovely. We have a teaspoon. Is it a teaspoonful? Oh my God. I am so sorry, darling. Right. So there is about 300 grams of plain flour in here, a teaspoonful of soda, and a teaspoonful of baking powder, and then there is 60 grams of cocoa powder in here. Now let's go and do the wet ingredients. You know what I haven't done? I don't even have my butter here. I can use butter or oil. Let me go for oil. Okay, let's go and mix we have cooking oil. Let's see, I have, okay, it just won't work. We need some butter because I was looking to cheat, but we need some butter. We need about 125 mils, and right now I only have 90 mils, so we're going to go get some butter. But before we get the butter, let me see. I am trying my hardest not to leave the screen. Okay, well, can you see I am just not here, right? Sugar, we need, oh, sugar is right behind me. Is it though? Glad. Can you feel my chaos? Right, we have soft brown sugar, oh, Tabitha, I am so sorry. Okay, we have soft brown sugar. We don't need this much. We need about 200 grams of sugar, and right now I have about 250. Like, actually, you know what, look at me, that's 150 grams of sugar here. I'm gonna add 100 mils of maple syrup. Oh, Tabitha, I am so sorry about your friend. How old was that, a he or a she? I said, what did you say? Let me see. I know you said, oh, he is, okay, so a he. How old was he, darling? I know you said he was your birthday buddy. How old was he? And what's his name? Bless his. Okay, we have maple syrup. Okay, there's 100 mils of maple syrup here. I'm gonna get that mixed into the sugar. The sugar is a little lumpy for my liking, but you know what. And then we have the oil. Okay, now we're going to have 3 eggs. Yep, 3 eggs in here. And then we are going to add our banana. Now let's pour some vanilla with love. 59, that is young, isn't it? 3 eggs. I am just twisting this a little more. And whilst we're at it, I'm going to add some milk. I just don't want to mix different bowls. So we are adding 240 milk, and into the milk I'm going to add some vinegar. Right, we have, did I tell you I wasn't very organized? We have some vinegar. Lintroth, is that you? I think I remember the name, but yeah, there's 2 tablespoonfuls of milk and vinegar over here, right? All right, we're gonna add the milk in here, and into that. We're still mixing that. Let's see. And then into that we have our banana. Where is the banana? The banana. You want an overripe banana like this. I'm just adding the banana for flavor, right? Okay, that's about 120 grams. I'm gonna get myself a fork. Yeah, and then 120 grams of banana goes in here, and that is all mixed together. And we've got all that mixed together. Let me just wipe my worktop and bring this in here. Right, now into the middle, we'll make a well and we'll mix. This all the way in. Okay. Okay, let's see what our butter tastes like. You know, the butter is great if it tastes good. Okay. This is good, even if I say so myself. Okay, people, when I'm making something and I say it tastes good, believe me when I say, because at least for now, Lollipop has tried it, and she knows she can trust what I say here. Okay, right? So you want to make sure the butter is not overmixed, and that's the consistency we have. Oh, let's see. Now, let's go and line the baking tray with muffin cases. I've got these ones. I mean, you could Can you see? This is not good, is it? Okay, we'll just leave it here. Lollipop says she's going to be making our cheats style cream cheese frosting. Okay, we call it cheats style cream cheese frosting because it is so easy to make. It is not exactly cream cheese frosting as you know it. If you wonder what I'm looking for, I'm looking for my scoop. Some days I move stuff around, yeah, and then I can't find them. Anyway, we will make it work in it nonetheless. Okay, I am using a measuring cup here. Please, can this thing just not be messy? I think this is half a cup or something like of that sort, so and we have another. I think this could possibly make about 10 bakery style or bakery sized muffins. I am in my muffin making era. I'm loving how easy muffins are to make. Now here's the question. Somebody asked on the channel one time, are muffins the same as cupcakes? And what's the difference? Don't cheat. Do you want to put your answer in the chat? What's the difference between a muffin and a cupcake? Do not cheat. Oh, there's quite a few of you in the chat. Hello there. Big Lollipop. Clearly you didn't cheat. So yeah. Lollipop didn't cheat, but her answer, Lollipop says bigger case. Well, if it's just a case, we could as well just swap the case for oh God. Okay. She says the crumb. What is it about the crumb that makes a muffin different? Okay, so that is done here. I think what I am looking for okay, I could have just put this chocolate on top, you know. Okay, let's wipe this clean. And Lollipop, okay, the crumb, larger air pocket. Okay, Lollipop is actually being good. She didn't go and cheat, so that's fine. Let's see. Rough texture. Okay. Where is Tabitha and the rest of you? The question is, what's the difference? What's the difference between a muffin and a cupcake? Because understandably they look the same, right? So what exactly makes one different from the other? Lollipop says the rough texture, crumb, bigger, of course. Of course it's bigger. I like to mix mine. Yeah. Cinnamon says the frosting. Frosting, is it because cupcakes are frosted? You could frost a muffin too. Cinnamon, did you find the balls? For those of you who don't know, Cinnamon and I are just having a laugh. Okay? Because we've been laughing with each other over there. Oh, you did? Cinnamon. Okay. That's nice. You should have told me sooner. I was sitting here wondering if we found it. Where we lost it anyway. Tapeta, you are gagging. You should answer the question, Tapeta. What's the difference between a muffin and a cupcake? And I guess you went to cheat, you. Tapeta went to cheat. I know Tapeta is gagging because of our joke about the balls. Anyway. I hope you feel better though. Tapeta, how is sleep coming along? Are you sleeping better? The sleep thing is a thing, isn't it? Okay, we have some. Okay. And the last bit goes on here. Right. There you go. Let's let this bake. Okay. Okay, frosting. Okay. First of all, a muffin is a quick bread whilst eating at a sitting. So it's a single person serving. It's a quick bread because the ratio of sugar and fat is fairly lower. And the cupcake is a quick cake, as in it's a cake, which is why it's almost like it's a cake that is served at a single serving. Okay, that's the difference. So some of the other properties of muffin is because the ratio of liquid is higher and fat is lower, you're likely to have a less sweet muffin. Of course, there are muffins where you can raise the sugar ratio, make it sweeter, but generally a muffin is denser in texture and has a bread-like feel. You can have it as a cake, right? But it is because it's a quick bread and the ratio of liquid in a muffin is generally more. You have a more dense structure to it. So yes, lollipop. When you said the comment Lollipop made about the crumb of a muffin, it's true to a very large extent. Whereas a cupcake isn't. The liquids in cupcakes, generally you can turn a cake recipe into a cupcake anyway, no problems, but the liquid in cupcake is so less, which means that the gluten is not activated as much as it would be in a muffin. So cupcake tends to be very tender, very soft, delicate and light, and takes the form of a cake. That is generally the gist of it. So sugar is less in muffins, but in generally cupcakes and cakes, the sugar is higher compared to muffin. But then in baking, generally, you have a high ratio recipe, which means the sugar level is actually more in relation to the other ingredients. That's something to note. So yeah. Yes, and generally people like to eat muffins for breakfast. I don't think the idea of selling a muffin as a breakfast, a healthy breakfast option is true, okay? If you've been on YouTube for long, there is a man who does the insulin resistance test. Go see him. He'll save you. So this whole idea of having muffins, like banana muffins for breakfast, because we think that it is healthier because it's got muffins and less sugar. No, not true. Okay. But yeah, I would still eat a muffin for breakfast anyway. I'll eat anything for breakfast if I fancy it. But you know what, Lollipop, you are my Ghanaian sister, okay? We Ghanaians don't do that cereal thing, okay? This cereal and milk for breakfast, that sugar, it will go straight into my brain and I'll start acting out over here, okay? We're not about that life. But then again, I try to have a healthier alternative. In fact, as I speak to you, I haven't had breakfast. I wake up about 7:30 in the morning, and I get my morning routine sorted. Some days a little earlier, but about 7ish, because I go to bed a little late. I'm a night owl sometimes. So yeah, about 7:30 today, and by the time I get the boy ready for school and everything else, say I'm at my desk about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Let's say 10. My morning starts at 10, and I'm the sort of person who just goes to sleep when I eat. I just want to sleep, unless I consciously factor in going for a walk or doing something active that will delay the sleep. So unless I am really, really hungry, I really aim to finish alive, and that will be my first meal of the day that I'll have, maybe a breakfast. And when I do, I try my best to have like a protein packed breakfast. So after this live, for instance, I'm going to be having a bacon and egg wrap that I make at home, something like that, you know. So just so that, because you know what, I know I have a very unhealthy job, you know, people. I have the awareness of knowing my job here brings you so much happiness, and it's indulgent and it is fun, but it's so unhealthy. My job here is so unhealthy. Like the amount of cakes that I eat in the name of tasting, it's just not healthy, okay? So whilst I encourage you to undertake baking, you should look after yourself too, okay? And I try to live by that. So for instance, okay, can we talk about these muffins? I kind of feel like I'm ruining it for you, because these are bakery style banana chocolate chip muffins. Now let's cut through one and you will see. Actually, the whole idea of having them was, remember when I said I made the banana loaf and they were gone before I could do the post-production? I literally had to read the fear of God into the boys and say, you can't touch this, okay? So I took them out just so that I could do the post-production shoot, and look at us here now. Okay, so let's find one and cut into it and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, this one. All right, look at that. Look at that muffin. Who can tell me this muffin is not good? Okay, now let's cut into it. Look at the structure of that muffin. Oh, linguine and meatballs. Oh my goodness. Lollipop. Wow. Thank you. That muffin look at that muffin. This is the unhealthy part of my job. But you know what? It's all part of the job. I'm not even complaining. I have a job and I am happy. Tapeta, go and sleep, please, darling. Okay? Tabitha. Go have a rest. Keep hydrated though, darling. And let's catch up tomorrow, my dear. Okay? Sending you hugs. Please don't stay. I think we need a cup of tea for this one. People, let's wish Tabitha well. So she gets well soon, darling. Okay? Take care of yourself. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Whew. I think I feel like I need a cup of tea. I do. That is just by the way though. Okay. Whew. Chocolate all over me. I kind of feel like having this amount of sugar before I even have breakfast is just like my brain is going, you know, this mess isn't good for you. Okay? It isn't good for me, but I'm on the job. I am my own quality control manager. What can I say? You know what? Can I tell you? It's because my tea bags are in the other room. I showed, oh, Cinnamon, you went here yesterday. I showed you, I brought my big old bag of tea bags. I know you don't mind. I've made tea here before. It's like that my big old bag of tea bags is in the other room, and I don't have a big producer here to help me out. And I don't want to leave the set. That's all. That's the reason why. But you know what? I'm gonna try and figure it. I'm gonna try and figure it out. By the way, my lovely, how are you? How is the hubby? He's back to work, I guess. Yeah? But I hope you are looking after yourself, my love. It's always great to have you and such a good laugh. Anyway, I got these tabs here from these muffin cases from Amazon. When I tried, you know, online, when people show you how to make them muffin cases, gosh, I tried it. It didn't work out. So I thought I might as well buy them. Amazing stuff. They make your... They add a touch of glam to your cupcakes. Great. Lollipop. And cinnamon. Great. Oh, good to know, my dear. Anybody with ill health, it isn't always a good thing, is it? So it's good to know the hubby is well. Okay, look, I am literally surrounded by clutter, and somehow I feel like go grab. You guys just spoil me. You make me feel so special. Look, let's go and put the stuff away. You people are in my home kitchen. Okay, we are working. Okay, we are making it work. If I wasn't doing this on camera, this would still be me over here, like turning around, putting things away. The one egg that is left, okay? Always have an extra ingredient just in case one doesn't work out. There you go, okay? And what else have I got? Yeah, let's go grab the tea bag. We will. Don't worry, people. We will. I'm just trying to boil the... Well... But then again, are we not going to have a situation where I end up breaking a cup? aren't we? Oh, okay. You know, you people are so kind to each other. Right. Well, if you have any worries or questions about how much tea I like, this is a whole bag of tea, okay? This is how much tea I like. I'm giving my tea bag a hug. Okay, people. I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea. Okay, that's how much tea I like. And did you say you get me a metal cup? You know what? At this point, I am open to anything as long as it doesn't break. Okay. I have a flask though, but boy, did I not try to make hot tea in this flask and drink it with a straw? Never again, people. Never again. It's a mess. Because I have had my tongue and whole mouth burnt from having hot tea in a flask. Don't do it. You can have the tea in a flask. Don't drink it with a straw. Because boy, did I not learn. Grab yourself a drink though. Oh, Lord. What am I using to stir my cup of tea? Oh. Right. Now that's a cup of tea. So people, okay. Now let's talk. We are back. I still remember the time when I said we have this. I have the scrap cake. Who was here when we talked about the scrap cakes? There was a time when I said I have so much scrap cakes. Remember when we made the flour vase cake and all that stuff? That was utilizing the scrap cake I had. Remember that? Okay. We still have more scrap cakes and I need to use them. So here's a question. I actually want to make them into like useful cakes, like the flower vase, the flower pot, and the teacup, those sorts of cakes, so that they are realistic, and then I can bring an extra layer of tutorials to the channel. So if you have any ideas on what videos you would like to see, please make your voice known. Okay, leave them in comments. I'm in the comment section. Even if I don't respond to you soon, sometimes I have to make time to see the comments and respond to it. So if you want to see something, or you have a question, leave them in the comment section, okay? And I will make an effort to respond to you. But in the meantime, the simple question I want to ask you is, are there any specific cakes we would like to see? Just so that I can bear that in mind. I know that I have so many cakes, my dear. There's so much cakes. I am like, wow, what am I doing with all of that? Oh my goodness. You know what? I am a baker, right? I have baked and baked and baked. But at heart, I am an excited, like I'm a novice baker. When I put stuff in the oven and I look at it and it's coming out and it's so nice, I get excited like a kid. The muffins, they look good. My son is going to be happy when he comes home. And look at how easy that was to put together. Okay? And that's the lesson here. It is so easy to put those recipes together. If you haven't tried a muffin, a loaf bread, or try it, okay? Try it. Lollipop is saying, I'm trying to think of what you could make. You don't have to answer that right now anyway. If you think of something later. I know, Lollipop. Lollipop just says, it's always nice when the room smells amazing and you want to try. I know, but at her, I just get, it doesn't matter how long I've baked. I mean, I've been baking for 10 years and counting. But I am still excited when I put something in the oven and it comes out okay. I am, especially cupcakes, the way they rise, the way they look. Not so much for cakes. Cakes are just boring. Okay? But we're waiting for our muffins to be done. Did I say I haven't had breakfast? I've ended up eating the sugar muffins. Okay. Okay. Oh, Cinnamon doesn't like chocolate that much. Okay. Let's see. But yes, the smell of anything baking is amazing, isn't it? Especially when you open your door and the smell is so wafting. I like the smell of lemon cake. Lemon cake. The zest of the lemon. Oh. And cinnamon, by the way. I like a carrot cake also baking because of the spices and earthy, warm smell. I love that. Maple syrup. Pancakes, maple syrup. Lemon cake is your favorite. Cinnamon, what kind of lemon cake would you like? Is it a lemon drizzle, just a plain old lemon loaf, lemon cake? What buttercream do you like in your lemon? Okay, yes. Chocolate cake is very rich, but you know what? Well, I guess what I was going to say is that no matter how I spin it, yes, chocolate cake is really intense and too much sometimes. Yeah, I still find chocolate cake a little bit intense and too rich, but I have adapted. I can adapt it to suit my preference so that it's still chocolate, but it's not too rich. But I think my original chocolate cake recipe was very dense. It's something like a chocolate mud cake. It's in the middle there, so it's not super muddy and dense, but it's not cakey. It's like, think about a fudge brownie. Oh, death by chocolate. My son loves chocolate. Okay, chocolate cake. He doesn't care. Every year in year, he's like, you know the cake you made before? He will eat chocolate cake any day. So yes, I think the Claire Saffit's chocolate cake recipe is it's still rich, but it's so light that I can tolerate that. Okay. But there are some recipes that are like a little bit intense. But death by chocolate, oh, that's too much, isn't it? A death by, you have chocolate, chocolate buttercream, and then sometimes you add more chocolate additions on it, and it's like, why? Let's see. Okay. Did I also tell you I am a very impatient baker? When I'm excited to see what is in the oven, you know what? A death by chocolate, I would not go. What sort of frosting? Are we talking the American chocolate frosting? Because that's a lot for me. Oh my people, look at that. Look at that muffin. There you have half an hour and it's baked. Look at that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, have a nice day. Yeah, thank you.
It's baked. Oh, look. Let's have a look at our muffin. Who wouldn't like these? I would like them. Okay. That's the thing about muffins. They are very easy to make and super adaptable. Okay. Let me just show you what they look like for the last time. Okay. I like the mix of white and dark chocolate. They look so good. I know. Okay. I know the advice will be to let them set. I think I'm gonna, okay. I wanted them to set, but I also want you to have, look, let's break into it. Look. Look at the texture of those muffins. Oh my God. Lollipop. Aisha, we are having a fantastic day. How are you, my love? Right. I know. It is so steamy. And by the way, this muffin is not sweet. It doesn't mean the intention was to make it less sweet, by the way. Because remember, we had 150 grams of soft brown sugar to enhance texture. And then the 100 grams of maple syrup. Okay. So if you're not keen on the sweetness of a muffin, this is perfect for you. It's not sweet at all. But in fact, because the chocolate on the top is white and dark chocolate, when you bite into it, the crunch and the sweetness sort of adds to this. But this chocolate muffin is not sweet at all. Thanks, Aisha. These muffins are amazing. They're just not sweet at all. Have a good one. Your teacher is coming. Go and study. Don't get into trouble for being on her. Take care, Aisha. Have a good day. Okay, people? I was here to make some muffin. Oh, gosh. Look. This is the sort of muffin you can have as a pudding, okay? You can squish it, pour ice cream on it, sprinkle chocolate sauce, and it will not be overwhelming. Because talking about the death by chocolate, you have the chocolate, you have the frosting, you have lots of chocolate bits, and then you have a drizzle. That's like literally death by chocolate. That is too overwhelming for me. But this is the kind of chocolate that I can have in layers. Well, a polite reminder that if you like our muffins and you found value, like the video. Join us over here on weekdays, Tuesday through Thursday. On the weekend, Sunday for a long form video, and perhaps daily for our shorts videos as well. Okay? So come on. Show us some love. And yeah. I know the white chocolate breaks up the monopoly of the dark chocolate, and it brings it is amazing. I better be kind so that I don't eat all of it. And you know what? Because we didn't have so much oil in it, the cases have come out so clean. You don't have oil sitting around it. Whereas sometimes the fat tends to seep on the cases. So yeah, lovely cupcake. I said cupcake. Muffins, done. I'll leave details of the recipe in the description box for you to check. Otherwise, people, I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Like, subscribe, join us. Thank you for your time. Let's send some love and good wishes and healing to Carpenter. Lollipop, have a good one. And Cinnamon and all of you in the chat, active and sitting on the walls. Great to have you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.